Hey, what's up, crypto friends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 of altcoins that you should be longing right now. All right, let's talk about it right here, right now. All right, so before just waiting to see which coins to long, my 3 altcoin picks that you should be longing right now are EOS, ETC, and Litecoin. All right, so let's start from the beginning, and then I'll make my way through every single one of them as to why I believe you should be longing those right now. So if you've been paying attention to the market, you've noticed that pretty much almost every other altcoin in the market has been exploding, right? Specifically, such as the Ethereum, right? Ethereum being the major that has just been booming, right? Ever since this broke out of its long-term wedge, it's up over 20%, right? So this thing's just been killing it, leaving a lot of other altcoins behind in the dust. But that isn't to say that eventually they won't catch up. And I think we're starting to see that right now, all right? So let's get into the first one. That is, of course, Litecoin. Just today is July 20, what's today? 24th, I believe, 25th. And let me actually zoom this up a little bit, right? So you guys can see the timeline. But just today, it was able to shoot up over 8%, okay? Just from today's, from the last 24 hours. In my opinion, this is not the end of it. If anything, to me, I feel like this is just the beginning for Litecoin. And let me explain. Litecoin right now has been on a strong accumulation for the past 3 months now, since May, June into July, almost August now. And during this time period, right, it has just been stagnating, following Bitcoin pretty much. It really hasn't necessarily made any higher highs. And the last time it was able to make higher highs was actually late 2018 into 2019. And the reason I believe that you should be longing Litecoin is that fundamentally, this is pretty much Bitcoin 2.0, right? You can do microtransactions. It's got the same amount of coins as Bitcoin. It's basically a fork of Bitcoin, as you can say. So with those fundamentals behind it, right? If you are bullish on Bitcoin long term, then in my personal opinion, there's no reason why you should not be bullish on Litecoin as well, right? So let me talk about it from a technical analysis standpoint. Like I said before, this thing did explode over 8% today. And I do believe now that after this huge impulse move, that we are going to get some accumulation in the near term future, right? I do think that Litecoin here might come up a little bit, and we're going to see some major consolidation before seeing some moves towards the upside. And I do believe that once we do get above the 56 Satoshi mark, right, around this general area, that it's going to start going parabolic very, very soon, right? So if I draw my trend lines, right, technically it is right at resistance if we draw our downtrend. But that's why I do believe that once we get enough accumulation in this general vicinity, that we will eventually break it and we will see some more upside from this point on. When we pull up the weekly channel, right? So this is right now is the weekly chart, and we pull up the RSI. Actually, I don't even have the RSI pulled up, so let's do that right now. Right, so let's just type in RSI. Okay. No, wrong one. Okay, I don't know why my RSI isn't pulling up. Anyways, I have a different RSI right here pulled up, but you guys can see right now, RSI for the most part on the weekly channel is starting to print some bullish divergence. You can see right here on the momentum indicator tied to the RSI, we're starting to print a lower high, which is usually a bullish indicator signifying that there is a lot more reversal or accumulation going on. And so to me, this is a really good first signal that could tell us that right now we will see some more higher highs in the future for Litecoin, and that this could just be the beginning, right? So if you did miss that Ethereum run, I do think that eventually Litecoin will follow it very, very closely here in the near term future. I'd say within the next 2 weeks or so, all right? So I'd definitely keep an eye out for this one. The next one we're going to be talking about is, of course, the Ethereum Classic, right? So Ethereum Classic, not too long ago, actually, did end up having a huge run up, right? Over 150% back in December up until February when it reached its previous peak. Right now, Ethereum Classic is technically in a large consolidation, right? A large falling wedge structure that currently it has kind of been consolidating for a long time until recently we did end up seeing a break here, and now it's getting pretty close towards breaking towards the upside now. I do believe that in the near term future, which again, similar to, I guess, to Litecoin, once this does get above a certain resistance area, in this case, that resistance would be around that 7,400 Satoshi mark, so around this general vicinity, which is around the 200 exponential moving average resistance on the weekly. You can see that once it gets above this general resistance, which I do think is going to happen very soon, this thing's going to go parabolic in my opinion. I think that this will actually end up reaching its previous all-time highs and surpassing that and some, right? I mean, if we calculate in terms of percentage from right here now up into its previous all-time highs, that puts at almost 500% return on investment if this does manage to get back to where it was a long time ago. So in my personal opinion, I do think that Ethereum Classic, being a fork of Ethereum, or it's the other way around actually, technically Ethereum is a fork of Ethereum Classic, but anyways, technically, since they are almost fundamentally the same, and we're already seeing that Ethereum right now is pumping like crazy, I do suspect that a lot of people are going to want to jump into the next best thing. And of course, any name tied to Ethereum, in my opinion, is pretty bullish in the end. Okay, so that's why I do think that this is also another coin to definitely keep on your radar, just because one, fundamentally, this is breaking out of its falling wedge structure. In my opinion, it already had a bottoming structure, and you can already see that this does have a lot of price action when it does get going, guys. So this isn't necessarily a dead coin, and I do think that there's going to be a lot of momentum to be had in the coming weeks or so. So this is my second pick. First one being Litecoin, second one being Ethereum Classic. Now let's talk about the third one, and that is of course EOS, guys. So to me, out of all the ones that I've mentioned today, definitely EOS is probably the biggest on my radar. Fundamentally, it is probably the strongest out of the bunch, just because one, it is a platform in which developers can build on. And if you guys have been following me throughout the years, you guys know that any single time my biggest gainers and my biggest my biggest wins in crypto have always been when it's a coin that's been on a developing standpoint, right? Something that developers can build on, when there's DDApps built on them, when there's DeFi possibly, right? So there's a lot of structural support within EOS. And a few years back, I remember a lot of people talking about how they wanted to switch from Ethereum over into EOS, just because fundamentally the network behind EOS is a lot faster, it's a lot cheaper, and it's just a lot more efficient. So I do think that long term EOS could have the opportunity to surpass Ethereum. All right. And I mean, when we calculate its current price action to its all-time highs, guys, that puts it at almost 700% possible return on investment if it manages to reach its all-time highs again. And right now, guys, again, similar to what I was talking about out of all the bunch, I think this one looks even better than all of them that I just talked about. This is starting to formulate what's known as a wedging pattern right here, guys. And this is looking pretty bullish in my personal opinion, guys. This is starting to formulate an accumulation zone. It is starting to bottom out, and it has been doing so during the same time period as Litecoin as well. So definitely, I think this is why I'm pretty bullish on the EOS. So definitely, I'd say to keep a close eye on this one. Again, fundamentally strong. Technically, it could be a little bit better, but it is starting to show signs that this could be on an uptrend in the very near term future, right? What you definitely want to watch out for is, if we draw our downtrend structures, is to see a break of this downtrending resistance, right? Because currently it is starting to make lower highs. And so the moment this does break, in my personal opinion, right, just like this thing is going to get going, and it's going to get going pretty fast, right? And eventually this will possibly make higher highs at that point. So this is going to be my third and final pick. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with the list or not? Do you guys think that these are pretty good coins to definitely invest into, or do you guys have other ones in mind? I know right now that the most popular ones to invest are the chainlink, right? The Tezos. But in my personal opinion, I think that those coins could be coming to a close. Reason being is that when we look at the coin market cap, right, a lot of those coins right now are already starting to hit those topped out levels, right? When we look at chainlink, it's already at a $2.6 billion market cap, as opposed to say something like an EOS, right? Where's it at? So EOS is around 2.5, so it's still sitting right below chainlink. But I think fundamentally EOS could be a little bit stronger than that of chainlink, and there's still a lot of upside to be had. So I don't know, guys. You can disagree with me, agree with me. It is what it is. But I think for right now, just looking at it from a technical analysis standpoint, I think these coins are getting ready to move up pretty strongly, especially seeing the amount of momentum that we're having with Ethereum. And I think that money eventually will transfer over into some of these other majors. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And of course, as always, guys, with that being said, I will see you on the next one.